So welcome to the studio again. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple pencil case, or you could use it as a makeup bag or whatever you like really. Lots of people are frightened of putting a zip in, and I'm going to demystify it for you. So all you need is a piece of fabric. You need a quite heavy thick fabric, a 10-inch zip, zipper foot on your machine, reel of thread and some scissors. Okay, so I've got two pieces of fabric here, quite nice thick linen, and they are 28 centimetres wide by 13 centimetres deep. Obviously you can change these dimensions to fit with your zip or whatever you're making, and if you want to make a deeper one, then just go deeper. So the first thing I'm going to do is sew the zip in, and you need to remember to do it the right way around. So many times I've made things with the zip and I've had the zip in the wrong way around. So face to face, so the opening side of the zip goes face down on the face side of the fabric, and then I've got my zipper foot on my sewing machine here with the needle set to one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is just stitch my zip in. Place the zip matching the edge of the fabric, and I'm sewing it in right up to the edge like that. I'm going off the end. Lift my foot up, snip the thread away, and then I can just neatly fold it over and press it down with my fingers like that. And back to the machine, press a foot down, and I'm going to move my needle to the other side of the zipper foot. And I'm going to top stitch it to give a really neat edge. So as you can see, that's a really nice, neat finish. Chop that little bit of thread off. I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. So I've got the right sides together again, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing . I think lots of people are a bit frightened of putting zips in. I know I certainly was, and I think it was probably to do with school, you know, when you have to get everything super correct. And I just got a bit frightened, but I just had a go. And yes, you'll make mistakes, but it doesn't matter. So I finger pressed that. Put it back under the sewing machine. Move my needle to the other side. Not everybody's zipper foot works the same way. Yours might only work on one side, in which case just move the fabric around to do that. Top stitch again, so you've got a nice neat finish. Cut off, and so there we've got our zip in place. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, I've got a bit of a gap here, but when you're using it, that won't matter. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the zip halfway, like that, and with right sides together, I'm just going to pin it. I always try and pin perpendicular to where I'm sewing, that way you can sew over the top of the pins really easily, and then just take them out when you finish sewing. So we're ready to go. I'm going to actually change my foot over to a normal sewing foot. You can leave it on a zipper foot, but it doesn't matter too much. So I've pinned this together, and I'm just going to sew it now. So I've changed my foot back to a normal sewing foot, and I'm going to start by going backwards. then go forwards. Turn around at the corner and carry on all the way round. Backwards, forwards to finish off, give you a nice secure end. Snip off your loose threads and take your pins out. This is why we unzipped the zip halfway before we started sewing it together, because if you leave it fully zipped together there, you're going to have no hole to turn it inside out with. So next thing you do is turn it out through the hole. Unzip. Use your finger to push through there. Now, you could leave it like that and you've got a flat pencil case or a flat makeup bag, or, you know, a nice little purse if you do it with a smaller zip. Or if you want it to be, to go one step further, you can make it stand up, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we need to go back to inside out for that. So we're back to inside out here, and I'm going to show you how a neat little trick just to show you how to make it stand up. So firstly, we're going to fold these corners, and what you're aiming for is to flatten the side seam against the bottom seam. I don't know whether you can see that there. So it looks like a little boat or a slipper, and I'm going to just put a pin in both sides, keep it secure, and then we're going to stitch a line that goes roughly across there. So back to the sewing machine, put down, and I'm just going to go backwards, forwards, forwards, 3 times. And then I'm going to do the same on this end. So side seam flattened against the bottom seam, pin the edges, and a little bit of forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. Trim off any loose threads. If you were super whizzy, you could overlock these edges, but we're just doing home sewing, so it doesn't matter. Take out your pins. And then back to turning it the right way out. And there you've got a little pencil case that stands up. I'm going to give it a little press now, and we'll come back and have a look at it when it's been ironed. So I've just given it a little press to make it nice and neat. As you can see, we'll put all of our pens in. Scissors, zip it up, you've got a great pencil case. And just to finish it off, I'm going to tie a ribbon through the zip. If you cut your ribbon on a little angle, it's easier to get through the tiny hole. Pull it up, tie it tight, and you've got a nice little zipper. So have a go and don't be scared of zips.